Gary Atensi with CNTV, and today we're in Denver, Colorado. We're here at the facility Plaza Aztlan. I am here with the program director of the Sisters of Color United for Education. Welcome. Let me ask you first of all, how long have you all been around and what got you involved?
Well, Sisters of Color United for Education is Colorado's oldest promotora program. So we're about 22 years old right now, and we train promoters of health, which are promotoras de salud. We have a lot of services here, which is why we've evolved into Plaza Aztlan as well.
What makes it very unique here is the fact that you've got holistic services not only that you provide, but you basically teach as well so others can go out into the community and share. Tell me about that.
Promotoras really are community health workers, and they're the front lines of defense in your community for, according to WHO, if you even look at the World Health Organization, it is those community health workers that are the frontline workers. And so not only are they able to get people into services, but they're also able to recognize when there may be issues and then know how to refer people out so that they can get the help that they need.
How important is culture out there?
I think culture is such a beautiful thing because it's a fluid experience. And so what we find with promotoras is that now there are other programs throughout Colorado that are trying to model the promotora program. And what's unique about us is that we are culturally responsive. And so a lot of the work that we do comes from indigenous practice, comes from, a holistic perspective on wellness, not just the absence of disease, but really being able to look at your environment. How can you look at the other issues that may be affecting your health and wellness as well? Not just, do you have diabetes or do you have HIV? We're holistic here, and that's what makes us different. The culture of the work that we do here is of the people. It is of the heart of the people. It's grassroots. And so we've gone from our cars to a facility.
So obviously you're providing folks with tools out there that they can use. People that are going through something, is there actually counseling that's provided as well, and how does that work?
Yes, we have a multitude of programs that we have here. We have educational programs such as the promotora training. We have groups specifically for people living with HIV or women suffering with PTSD. But then we also have our wellness services, which include individual counseling, family counseling, art therapy. The Body Talk is where we bring in that wellness modality into our facility in April. Also a substance abuse program where we'll be doing DUIs for bilingual participants.
Great program here. Folks, you can take a look at their website. It's at the bottom of the screen right there as well and find out some more information about them. We dropped in on you today because you've got a class that was going on just a few minutes ago, which was the Body Talk program. Tell me, how long have you been associated with them?
I've been a Body Talk practitioner for about 6 years now. As being a promotora, the more tools that you have in your toolkit, the better you are able to provide services within your community. So, we did a lot of holistic wellness. We practiced a lot of curanderismo here and other wellness services. When we got the opportunity to take the Body Talk trainings, it really kind of took us to the next level to being able to serve some of the specific populations that we work with, such as people suffering with PTSD, anxiety, depression, and some of those other issues. So we were able to address it in a non-traditional fashion. Our results have been really good, and it keeps our participants coming back, but it also helps their families as well.
Wonderful. Folks, once again, we're located here at Plaza Aztlan is the facility here, but honestly, these folks actually make it a very mobile service because they're basically taking it out into the community and teaching other people how to do so. One of the services provided here is Body Talk. Body Talk is something that's been getting some amazing results out there in the community. And I'm here with one of the practitioners, one of the trainers, utilizing the facility here to teach others to go out and do the same thing. Let's start first of all. What got you involved with Body Talk?
So Body Talk has been a really long journey for me. I started getting Body Talk sessions when I was about 16 years old because I had a list of health challenges that I wasn't seeing any results with. Taking this prescription, that prescription, feeling really horrible and never getting better. I got to a point at one day where I was so sick and fed up with what kind of medicine I was getting that I said, you know what, I'm going to try something completely different. And I went and had my first Body Talk session, and I've been hooked since.
Wonderful. And when you say really different, we are talking about letting your body heal itself instead of going out there and putting other things into it. How important is the communication of our body within our own cells.
It is so important. Our body is consistently communicating with itself 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, at every second and every waking minute and sleeping minute. So communication is actually one of the key principles of the Body Talk system. What we do is we help the body to actually restore communication in the body through using some gentle techniques from tapping and breathing, so your body can actually use its nervous system and its breath to find areas that have lost imbalance so they can communicate a little bit better to restore health.
What are some of the people that are coming through the doors? What kind of symptoms were we talking about that you've had some great success with?
Sure. We've seen all kinds of things. I've treated a lot of asthma in my practice. I've also worked with a lot of substance abuse and addiction recovery, chronic pain, fertility issues, worked with women with pregnancy and postpartum issues. We like to think of Body Talk as a system of personal and spiritual growth with the side effect of really great health care.
Speaking of immediate results, share with me just one that really jumps out in your head and you'll always remember.
You know, one that really jumps out to me is helping a young woman who had bipolar disorder get off of her medication. I said to her, you know, this is the story within your body that you're really willing to unravel, and you're doing the work. Within 3 to 5 sessions, she was completely off of her medications. So being able to support her through that process and then watching her flourish over the last 6 years and become the woman she is today has been such a blessing.
Body Talk, can this be integrated with other programs they're in as well as independent and standalone?
Sure. The Body Talk system is actually a standalone system of healthcare, so we get great results just using Body Talk. However, it integrates easily and seamlessly into any other modality of treatment that somebody is using. Body Talk also boosts the effectiveness of any other therapy that you are receiving. Recently, just started working with a woman who's been doing acupuncture for years upon years, and after 2 to 3 Body Talk sessions, she's told me that she doesn't feel like she needs acupuncture as much anymore, and when she does get it, she thinks it's working more effectively for her.
What happens during a Body Talk session?
Basically, what's happening in a Body Talk session is we're using tapping, so we tap over the head and we tap over the heart to get the client or the patient's brain and their body and their heart to integrate more effectively. We, as a practitioner, use focus and intention and awareness to help the body direct its healing capacity towards different areas that might be out of balance. So we actually use a protocol of questions where we ask the body's innate intelligence, what's a priority for health and balance? So we don't do diagnostic medicine. We don't do symptom relief. We actually sit and listen. So really, as a Body Talk practitioner, I'm trained to listen to your body and then prioritize with your body how it would like to heal and balance itself. Because I don't consciously live in your body, and sometimes we don't always consciously live in our own bodies. So if we can just listen and take our ego out of the healing process, the body's going to tell us how it needs to heal and balance.
Some of the steps. We're talking about a session lasts normally how long?
Generally, a session is about 15 minutes to 40 minutes, depending on what's going on with the person. We do a 4-page intake, and sometimes they need assistance in going through that. So we generally book out our first appointment for an hour and a half because we have about 30 minutes of intake. And then we have the treatment after the session. We do lifestyle counseling or different ideas or suggestions, yoga, stretches, qigong, breath movement, anything like that that might help the person on their journey.
Why do you think this type of healing is so important now, even than compared to 20 years ago?
Stress is completely biologically unsustainable to the body. Our body has mechanisms that are set up to actually defend against stress and to be resilient and bounce back from stressful situations. But the problem with our culture and our society is we have less leisure time than we have ever had, more time working, and more time working to buy stuff that doesn't really fulfill our happiness. So we're all stressed out. The stress reduction that you get with Body Talk, the reintegration of the nervous system and what helping the body to actually regain its bearings after being in stress is hugely important.
Sustainable is the key word there. You can handle the fight or flight for a certain amount of time, then eventually it can't handle it anymore.
Exactly. And prolonged periods of fight or flight lead to headaches, feelings of despair, depression, skin problems. The list goes on and on and on and on. And these are just a result of staying in fight or flight for too long. So really what Body Talk is designed to do and what the Body Talk Access system is designed to do is get us back into that growth and healing mode, that regeneration, parasympathetic nerve supply, so we can actually heal and balance.
Obviously, stress is something that we all go through and it gets serious over a period of time. Let's say folks out there that are not going through your typical stress, basically have been through something a little more traumatic?
Okay, yeah. So Body Talk is one of those kind of systems that's going to get at the root cause of what's really happening with somebody. We here at Sisters are starting to do victims compensation work for people that have been survivors of domestic violence or violent crimes or sexual assault. These are a little bit more specific cases that have a little bit more complexity to them. The talk therapy doesn't really get at it. The massage can be too much for them sometimes. And, the drugs are just masking the symptoms. So we feel really blessed to be able to offer such a comprehensive system that can look at the mind, the body, the spirit, the relationships, the family dynamics, the pain, all of these different elements that someone's dealing with, and not have to make them go through it or relive it. We just simply find what's not working, find what's making them lose energy, and we tap it out. And people, after 1 or 2 sessions, have immediate results, and it's almost like their whole life changes. Empowered, they begin to find the tools that they need to. Here at Plaza Aztlan, we can refer them to the places that they need to go. And really, we are helping people pick up the pieces from the most fundamental and damaged levels. At certain times, it can be very difficult. And this therapy provides us with a tool that gets right to it. It's like a very sharp sword.
Let me ask you, as far as folks out there that want to learn how to do this as well, tell me a little bit about the classes and what you taught today.
Okay, so I actually teach a entry-level Body Talk training. It's called Body Talk Access, and we provide the student with 5 energy-based techniques that they can use as a routine to have day-to-day health, maintenance, and wellness tools in home or improve their body's function through different kinds of treatment. It's a 1-day class. We do teach classes here at Plaza Aztlan. We do private trainings for corporations or for schools or individuals, and then we do public classes as well. It's they say learn it in 1 day and use it for an entire lifetime.
The information at the bottom of the screen right there. The facility here, which houses the Sisters of Color United for Education. Anyone out there who has never tried holistic wellness or prevention in that way, what would you tell them?
What's really nice about Body Talk and bringing somebody back into the awareness of their own body is that they have the tools then to actually feel themselves and to begin to balance themselves. You have to know that your breath is a watcher of your system, and the breath is the facilitator of everything that's really happening. You get a lot of information by just simply breathing.
The number one key, obviously, is awareness. And you've got a facilitator here. You've got somebody who will listen and help you through the journey. But honestly, the body's an amazing piece of machinery. We're talking about cells talking to one another, and if those cells are blocked or stopped, then obviously symptoms are going to occur. And so this is Gary Atencia with CNTV. And if you don't know, now you know.
Full-service barbershop that caters to men's unique style and personality. Stylists are trained in shaving, haircutting, beard trimming, and designing, shampooing, and styling. Escape into a world of total comfort, relaxation, and rejuvenation. Treat yourself to an experience of a quality haircut, face shaves with a straight razor or safety razor, massage therapy, manicure, pedicure, color, or wax performed by the specially selected Knockouts girls. Indulge yourself with a unique Knockouts cut, style, or other grooming service. Our first-class service includes today's most advanced coloring and hair management techniques and products. Our staff are specially selected and your services are assured. As always, walk-ins are welcome. Don't leave your appearance to just any salon. You deserve the best in men's hair care and grooming. Knockouts, the best place for men's hair care and grooming.
Fisher Van Lines is a family-owned and operated Denver mover with the experience and resources to manage your residential or commercial relocation. From planning and packing, transport and unpacking, we offer an array of professional moving and storage solutions to meet your needs. When you choose Fisher Van Lines as your Denver movers, you get a trained professional staff to ensure your move is well executed, on time, and on budget.
Canine Rehabilitation and Conditioning Group leads the industry of animal rehabilitation, and our caring team will help your dog or cat to feel stronger, move better, and get back into the game of life. Our rehabilitation experts are leading the industry of restoring quality of life to geriatric, injured, overweight, post-operative, and neurological or otherwise compromised dogs through physical therapy and integrative veterinary approaches.
This is Gary Atensi with CNTV, and today we're in Arvada, Colorado. We're at the Vital Energy Wellness and Chiropractic Center. For over 28 years, Dr. Wall and his staff have been promoting the health and well-being of folks throughout Denver. Let me ask you first of all, Dr. Wall, an engineer like yourself, you change professions and move into an industry where you're helping people. Tell me what got you involved in that?
Well, first of all, I got helped by a chiropractor. I had been suffering for 20 years with back pains, and after a short treatment period, I did much better. And I go, And then I learned that this was a full healthcare system, not just removing aches and pains. And I thought it looked like more fun than what I was doing.
Wonderful. Let me ask you this. For over 28 years, you have pretty much first-handed found what society has done to our bodies. We're a faster society, more toxic society, more stressful. Let me ask you, is chiropractic services more vital today than possibly even 30 years ago when you began?
Oh, yes, absolutely so. As your bodies get weaker, you have to do more things to keep them strong.
Interesting. So we're talking about just everyday things that we do can break us down a little bit.
Yes, absolutely right.
Let me ask you, as far as when people think of chiropractic, obviously they think of accidents, injuries, so we're going to start there before we move into wellness. Let me ask you, what are the services that you're able to provide for those folks that have been in accidents or are possibly hurting very bad?
Well, first of all, let's take a look at what a body needs to be healthy.
Okay.
The first thing we need to do to be healthy is to make sure that all your nerves are working properly. And this is what chiropractic was founded on over 100 years ago, was Dr. D.D. Palmer found out that when you take the pressure off the nerves, your body can heal. So when you've had an accident, if you have nerve pressure, you're just not going to heal as well as you should. So you make sure that the nerves are working properly and then the body's heal properly.
Wonderful. So we're talking about adjustments that are here done inside of your office. What about corrective exercises? Are you able to opt for that, as well as some lifestyle advice to make sure that they keep moving down that path of wellness?
Oh, yes, we do. I consider myself a holistic doctor in that I do everything I can to help a person heal as fully as possible.
What are some of the effects of physiotherapy? We hear a lot about that anymore. Is that something that basically complements the chiropractic adjustment, and are you able to provide that?
Well, physiotherapy is a separate science, but they have similarities, and they do great work with many different types of injuries.
And do you offer that here in the office as well?
Oh, yes. I have the state-of-the-art spinal rehabilitation center here.
What about, as far as pain goes, cold laser therapy? I know a lot of folks, I've read up a little bit on this. Is this something that you're using more and more?
Oh, yes. I use that with just about every patient.
Explain to me what that process is all about.
Well, I turn the the tricky thing is to be able to find out exactly where the therapy is needed. And you apply the cold laser to it, and it just helps you heal a lot faster.
And is it a painful process, or is it something that's done rather quickly? How does it work?
It doesn't take very long, and you can't even feel it.
Interesting. And some of the results you've gotten from some of the patients, are they happy with that?
Oh, yes, they're very pleased with the results that we get.
Okay, take a look right here at the bottom of the screen, folks. You're going to see their website information right there. On the website, you're going to see basically the philosophy of the team here. The doctor's had it over 28 years. You're also going to see what I see on a lot of the walls here are basically testimonials. A lot of people who have received some great pain relief, but even more than that, we're talking about kids that are doing better in school because of the wellness side of chiropractic. Now, obviously, society, we're slowly making the transition into understanding preventive maintenance when it comes to our body, which I think is a great thing. Obviously, chiropractic, the vital energy going through our spine. Tell us what's going on there and why is that so important to keep the sickness away and possibly even some of the injuries?
Okay, first, again, the basic of chiropractic is to make sure that your nervous system is working properly. Let's say you have nerve interference, some nerve pressure going over to any internal organ, like, well, let's say like your stomach. If you have a nerve interference or nerve pressure or vertebrae out of alignment, pinching the nerves going over to the stomach, what does it take to fix the stomach? Well, you have, of course, you have to get the pressure off of the nerves. And what happens if you try to help the person with their stomach problems and do not get the pressure off of the nerves? Well, it just cannot heal properly if you have nerve interference. You cannot heal to where you want to be.
It's amazing. We're brought up basically to protect our head all the time, injuries, helmets, that type of thing. But quite honestly, it's the spine, like you said, that takes that information from our head to the rest of our body. So it's really a natural approach that you're taking here.
Oh, absolutely. The first thing I look for is to see that a body has the nerve interference removed. That's basic chiropractic. The second thing, which I've found very prevalent with people, is that they have people are dehydrated, and when your tissues are dehydrated, you can hurt, and you can hurt severely by simply being dehydrated. Now, many people will say, well, all I have to do is drink a little more water. Well, no, that's not quite right, because for some reason your body is not utilizing the water properly, not allowing it to get into the cells, not allowing it to be there to be able to flush out toxins that your body consumes during the day from the pollution that we have, the pollution that we have of the food, air, and water. We're ingesting that all the time, but we have to be able to wash it out too. So the second thing there is to have the body hydrated so that it can function properly. So that's the second thing I look for is a person dehydrated. Another really big thing on helping people stay well is that I'm finding more and more food allergies all the time. The thing is, you can be allergic to a food but not have a severe reaction. You can have, typically you think of an allergy, you think of what? Itchy eyes, runny nose, something like that. Or a severe allergy where your throat closes off and you can't breathe. Well, it can be all the way from that to something much, much less, like a little skin irritation. And those are all treated, and I treat those with my cold laser.
Wonderful. I mean, I know one of the things that modern medicine now is really boasting out there is the fact that we live longer. We're able to live longer, but quite honestly, with chiropractic, you're talking about quality of life being better, not just living longer. I mean, I know I want to live longer, but I don't want to be in a nursing home or be debilitated. We're talking about optimal living here.
Yes, that's exactly right. I've for some time I've been saying that what I want to do is help you live, feel better, live longer, and be stronger.
Wonderful. So for some of the viewers out there that are basically thinking about taking on with chiropractic, coming down to the office, how does it begin for them? Are we talking about a consultation? What happens?
Well, the first thing is you got to fill out your paperwork. Okay. Fill out your paperwork, and then we do a consultation. I talk with you about anything that's on your mind, anything that you would like help with, or anything that you're concerned about, or anything that you've had questions about.
And as far as the adjustments themselves, are we talking about how long does an actual procedure take? Is it going to take a lot of time out of my day, or is it something I can come in and do rather quickly?
Well, it's all up to the individual. I treat people as individuals. I don't have each person is different. Some people, they need very little treatment. Others, they need more attention just to be able to to get the results that you want as quickly as possible. And that's one of the things I always have in mind is I want to get people relief as quickly as possible.
healthy as quickly as possible, folks. You've got it all right there. Take a look at the bottom of the screen there. You're going to see his website information. Right there, you're going to see the services that he offers as well. And you can even go online right there. They've got a section there, bilingual for you as well. His information is right there. He would love to sit down and discuss with you. Like you said, you fill out the paperwork, answer some questions, and you can find out if chiropractic is something that will benefit you and your body, which has benefited for folks for hundreds and hundreds of years. It's a wellness approach, a healthy approach to you and your life. This is Gary Atencio with CNTV. And if you don't know, now you know. Until next time, if you know of a business who you feel the whole city should know about, nominate them, we'll send a reporter out. This is Gary Atencio from CNTV, and if you don't know, now you know.